where we honest paying 25, we could be at 25. I spoke to the supervisor. If we paid a little bit higher, we'd have more part-timers and less need for full-timers, which would then help us with benefits. I projected we need 3 full-timers. We could probably do it with 2, and then one of the part-time or full-timers would be a supervisor that would deal with day-to-day operations, scheduling, and things like that.
And in our map planner report, we actually have budgeted for 4 full-timers. So already we might not need the total that we have
At
here.
25 an hour and 35 an hour for 6 months being basic, and then once we go ALS for 6 months, you're at $600,000 a year for just 25 and 35. That doesn't count for overtime, holiday pay, and stuff like that. So my number, I think I budgeted 675. So I budgeted higher because of the overtime. Way on to the 1 week was 2 weeks was 18,000. The following week was 19,300, and that was a holiday in there.
And we did bake into our number, health insurance, workman's comp, social security, Medicare, MTA payroll, so that we have additional numbers on top of that. So there is.
And what's that number then come to?
What I
What I came up to is about 1.6 million.
But we went over
And that's
pretty thoroughly.
That's 12 months of BLS and 6 months of ALS. If you did a full year of both, it would be even more.
is that having 2 ambulances, 24/7?
2 ambulances, yeah.
Stacked.
Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty.
I mean, right now, our whole goal for doing ourselves is to improve the service.
Yes.
Because there are times when it's 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes for an ambulance to come back. So
And how much is the hourly on that projection?
35 and 25.
Are you sure about that?
I'm sure.
I don't know if it's particularly accurate.
I would say 1.4 for 24 hours a day.
All I know is I've done a lot of budgets,
Mhm.
both in the corporate world and my own business. And I believe I'm a realist. And what I put together and I shared with everybody, and with the rates for a paramedic at 35 an hour and the EMTs at 25 an hour. And don't forget, for ALS, it's for, it's 24/7, and for the BLS, it's 12/7. So trying to factor it in and staffing that, I came up with like $1.6 million. That's with all the benefits and stuff. That doesn't even include retirement. So
Larry, is that with buying the equipment or everything?
that's
together?
a
For the first
3-year
year.
buyout of 0%.
If we bought everything at 0, that's 1.6.
Yeah, 0%, 36-month payout. Yep.
The 1.6 is
So,
what he claims to be.
I don't believe the 1.2 million. I think it's low.
I mean, okay. My budgets I've done for I've done many ambulance budgets, and I've always been really at the end of the year 100% on. My tax returns at New Windsor are end of the year. Our P&Ls at $8,000. What I budget is what the numbers I see.
Okay.
I don't know your numbers for your health insurance. I don't know what your workers' comp rate is.
Well, family plan costs over $40,000 a
44,000.
year.
Yep, 44.
And you're going to probably have a mixture of both family plan and individual plans.
Larry, I'm looking at your budget right now, and you have it at $45 an hour.
That's the latest.
For the paramedic.
But the previous, that was at that come out to 1.75. But if you did it at 35 and 25, it's like 1.6 and change. Okay. So I've done a lot of budgets. I've done developing rates and everything else. I have a lot of experience, and I just don't believe the numbers at 1.2.
The numbers we were looking at too for health insurance. Right now, most of our employees don't opt into health insurance as they're the EMTs. So we've noticed in that way we want to know when's taking health insurance when it's offered, which I know we can't predict, but that's something we've noticed is that most employees do not opt for the health insurance.
Well, the thing is, we don't know that,
Exactly.
whether they want it or not. So when you budget, you have to sort of plan for the worst to make sure your bases are covered. Because if you don't plan for that and then they want it, that's a big impact.
It is already added in here in the proposed $1.2 million budget.
I just don't believe the number. Sorry, don't believe it.
We would, if you said tomorrow we're starting an ambulance service, we would be up and running in 45 days if we bought an ambulance tomorrow and stuff and going that way. We would start with one BLS ambulance 24 hours a day. and we would start making sure that was staffed 100%. And we would then, at that point, be able to see statistically where we're at to add a second ambulance. So the first year we would progress into that area, and then we would go to get our paramedics, hopefully by March of next year. We have all the equipment for them. Once we get our paramedics, we're no longer paying for intercept pricing calls with Empress or whoever else.
So let me ask you a
responds.
question on the, having to call somebody in for being a paramedic. You add in there $30,000.
Yes,
How many calls is that?
that was based on, it depends on the agency response. Blooming Grove and everyone has different rates. I can tell you last month, Wayanda had, the bill they got for ALS was only $2,100 for the entire month.
So that leaves 15 calls.
Mhm.
That's not a lot of calls.
That's ALS and Medicare. So what the difference is on there is if you have a private insurance or car insurance, that insurance will pay both providers. Under Medicare, they only pay the transporting agency. So then we had to pay Empress, so the patient didn't get a bill. So it's only your Medicare patients that we would actually have to pay Empress for or Blooming Grove. The rest of it, we can both can bill the insurance companies.
So you're saying Empress may charge $2,100, but Medicare may only cover, let's say, $300 of that.
Medicare pays
And then, so we're only obligated to pay Empress $300?
So what will happen is the BLS rate is about $400, you're correct. When we have an agreement with Empress or whoever, we're allowed to bill at the ALS rate. So then we're allowed to bill $800. Medicare will pay us that, and then we pay them $400 or whatever their rate would be. So we're allowed to bill at the higher rate when they're on our ambulance. And that's an agreement that we have with them, where Wayanda has it with multiple agencies. New Windsor has with other agencies also.
All right, so having said that, okay, so let's say $800. Okay, you use the number of $800 a week. So out of $30,000, that's what, 40 calls?
Let me follow here. So out of, let me just go back.
If it's costing us $800,
It's costing $400 or $500 every time Empress responds, and it's a Medicare patient. Yes, so we'll recoup about $300, and they would get the rest of it. And they would bill us monthly on those.
Until
so
we
the
get
bottom
an
line
ALS
is
system.
what would be our out of pocket?
So,
Money, taking into account the reimbursement part.
yep, so we would bill $800, we would collect $800 from the Medicare rate, and then we would have to pay 8% to our billing company, approximately. And then Empress would bill us, I know Blooming Grove's like $375, Empress is a little bit more, each agency is a little bit different, Walk Hill's $400. So we would lose the $80 to the billing company, so now we're at $720, right? And then minus $400 out of that, so we're around $320 we would keep, and they would be paid the rest. Once we have our paramedics, we're no longer having to do that. And once we have our paramedics, I got us paramedics in 41 days, so we can move quickly to get our own medics. Once we have our own medics, when Monroe or other towns need our services, we would then invoice those communities to help recoup our costs.
Okay, now, let's just assume for a moment that it only costs 1.2 million. So, but I'm sorry, let me step back. We budget for $1.2 million. But the cost may be more, and what we're hoping for is that the billings would help offset that difference. Is that right?
So yes, I met with a couple billing companies. Normally we have to buy tablets. They're going to provide those for us for free. Normally the ESO, the software we use for the patient charting, is about $600 a month. They're going to pay for that for us. So I got these companies.
For how long?
Eternity.
Okay, that's good.
So I negotiated that for us. So that's the laptop saves us $10,000. ESO is saving us $500 a month. So it's $6,000 we're saving. That's $16,000 in savings. I researched them quite extensively, and their biggest thing is, for example, for a patient with a high deductible, right? It's $4,000. They run that person every single day until the deductible's met, and then they bill the insurance so that we actually get paid and not have to chase patients. Their software is a little bit more up to date with that kind of things. Car insurance pays 100%. You guys again set the rates. I know Empress rates are pretty high, or compared to what I would charge. But again, no fault pays 100%. And then they have your Medicaid patients.
So having said that, so in the circumstance, we create the EMS service, and then we're going to wind up charging each household you're a dollar amount. Let's say it's $300, for argument's sake, just $300. So every household will pay $300. And then whatever businesses, whatever we decide to charge them. Then if one of these, our residents needs an ambulance, we're gonna want to sending that person a bill.
Yes, and the software allows you guys to consider what is bad debt. You can move things to bad debt. If the town decides that if it's under $300, we just put it to bad debt. And that's a decision you would make where it's not the point of chasing people after their money. You make the decisions. The billing company said you can come in here and they'll let you know the legal options on bad debt. Are we going to put people in collections? Well, if they keep the insurance check, absolutely. Are we just going to send them 3 bills and let things happen as it happens? That's for our billing company and the lawyer to decide what's legal for the municipality, but that's what they've done for other areas. They have a lot of different agencies, including municipal agencies they work for. There's a lot of regulations with Medicare. You can't just write off for one and not the other. So you have to be fair across the board. And that's important. So we have those things where in the town of New Windsor, if their balance is $277 and the insurance paid us $800, we don't chase it. It's bad debt. So those are all options that you can control. And my job is to give you every single option and you guys pick what you want.
I guess my concern is that, it's if we're charging taxpayers a fee every year to provide the service. I just don't want to have, if the taxpayer uses our ambulance service, the town's ambulance service, I don't want them to get another bill.
Then I think you'd find that you're agreed with the majority of the town board. And that is exactly why Mr. Biggs just mentioned, we have the ability to decide how much do we go after for bills.
I'm just trying to understand the picture, how this works.
No, I understand.
That's why I'm
My
trying
goal
work
is
this
to
out.
get this service my goal would be to bill as little as possible a Chester resident who is paying taxes towards the Chester EMS system.
Supervisor, I don't know, Larry, I don't know if this would be worth it. Are you available on Monday this week?
I'm around whenever you guys can be
Are
around.
you available on Monday?
Not available Monday or Tuesday.
I can
Tuesday.
make it.
Or a Wednesday.
There's a lot of things that our billing company
How about
says.
Saturday?
Guys,
What?
no, one thing at a time.
I
No,
would say-
I was asking about trying to put something together so we could sit with you and just kind of go through it.
Well, I did want to say, as a piggyback to your point there, the map plan report has a budget in it that cannot change. That does not mean that budget is going to be the budget for next year. It is just a formality for the purposes.
Cannot change if you wish to accomplish.
Right.
Based on our timeline, if you wish to accomplish the 2025 January tax cycle.
So what's?
No, the point is that the budget that's in the map plan report that is set if we want to be able to start taxing for next year. That does not mean that the actual budget, that's a projected budget, correct?
We tried to shoot high.
Yes.
Because that's my concern. I'm fully on us, the town running at the ambulance service. I don't want to farm it out because you're going to get, when we had better service with Mobile Life, you would ask the question and they would give us the excuses. I just don't know how, if we're going to have, do an outside service, hold their feet to the fire. So I'm all for this. I just want to make damn well sure that we got these numbers right. We got the staffing right, because the folks that are behind you are the ones that are going to be looking at us after we start taxing them. And I just want to make sure whatever the number is, we'll live with it. But I just want to make sure we get it right, because we have to get it right.
So for just taking the one ambulance on 24 hours a day, we know that number is 20,000 every 2 weeks. So even if we ran that for the next 4 months until we are up and running, if we had to go to 1.7 million, we're saving for the first 3 months in that time period until we get the second ambulance on 24 hours a day. I really feel the volume in Chester overnight from midnight to 6 a.m. You don't need 2 ambulances on. It's not that busy. Cornwall runs one that night, and so does New Windsor runs one at night. So that would be a cost savings. You can ask the supervisors I work with. I mean, the town supervisors, my numbers have been really, really, really close.
No,
to
I'm not
But
questioning.
again,
I just want to make sure that we got it right. So if we should know when we're talking about this. I mean, Do you know that 911 is telling us what our runs are at night compared to during the day? Have we got that information?
Yeah,
We
so
get that information.
Okay.
there's also people, and there's not many facilities here, but some facilities call Empress directly and don't go through the 911 system. And there's also mutual aid numbers we're not accounting for. So our, maybe doing 1,200 calls a year, but how many times would we be going to Monroe and Blooming Grove to help them out too? Which in Way Beyond it, we saw
And Warwick.
20% increase in volume that we thought we had because that ambulance was going mutual aid now to other communities, which is extra revenue that comes back towards us. So there's that mutual aid factor. We have to give it to get it also. We have to
Sure,
go out
sure.
to these
No,
towns to get it. But if you do an extra 200 calls a year at $500, there's $100,000 that you would have not have received.
I just want to make sure that we get this right because I don't want to go down this road and then all of a sudden, and I know there's going to be that blip, but I will just want to make sure we're right with staffing, we're right with service. We have 2-3 year average of what our calls have been. We can't take a 1 year snapshot. We got to figure out what the greens are. Okay. Cause that's going to be, and that's probably going to be more than 24 calls, 24 calls. I could almost guarantee that. And I don't know nothing
You get
about
one person
nothing.
that's elderly, that's sick chronically, you're going to be going there multiple times. We
Yeah.
have those
So I mean, I
also.
just want to make sure we get it right because this is a big deal. I mean, this is a big deal, and I just want to make sure as far as I'm concerned, you're the in-house expert. You've done this, so we're relying on you and your information. That's what I would like to sit with Larry and you and myself, and if the supervisor is wants to, he can. I know he's been engulfed in this from
Yeah.
the get-go, just to kind of go through it again, so we all have. I just want to be comfortable. Whatever the number is the number. And then we just move forward. But I just want to make sure that we're not
The
underselling
number
ourselves.
is very indicative of what you want it to be. If you want the paramedics, do you want 2 paramedics on, or you're going to have 1 paramedic and 2 full ambulances with a fly card? So it really depends on what you want it to be.
Well, we got to remember too, the PD is always, their response time, I don't know the statistics, but they're there within 10 minutes, and that's probably a longer
Yep.
10, it's probably more like 7 minutes.
So our Cornwall station is pretty much the same size and demographic as this. Our average response time in Cornwall is less than 6 minutes at 95% of the time. It's 5 minutes. I think New Windsor's like 6 minutes and change at New Windsor with our response times.
Here's my other concern, and I think I might have brought this up when we come up to see you. But how is I know there was some problems with the 911 system. I know when I brought it up months ago, the gentleman that works for the county said, no, there's no problem. But I had a problem, and it was here in this building when the burglar alarm went off. Okay, I got the call. I was getting off the highway, so from getting off 120/60 here on a Friday night, 5 minutes, 6
Yep.
minutes. Came in here with the PD. They cleared the building. We went outside. We were standing talking, and they came over the radio that I was on my way to meet them at the building. We had been in here. The building was cleared by the police. We were standing outside, and then it came over the radio that Robert Courtney was going to be meeting them here.
Yeah.
And that was 20 minutes. So
Yeah.
I just want to make sure, I just want to make, is there something going on there? Because obviously that instance there was. I know there's an alarm company involved, and it's,
Well, the nice part though about this is that if we have an issue at Chester EMS with a issue, then we bring it to the supervisor. He calls his counterparts, and there could be issues with the ambulance coverage now with issues that we don't know about. But when we find out about it, there was an issue the other day in Rayonda. I called Denise at 7 a.m. She called 911 by 7:30. It was resolved by 8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Because my job is to tell him everything, and then he can use his position to go to the county and say, there's a problem. But we report everything to you guys, and we treat this as a department head. Whoever's running this would be a department head. They report to you. But yeah, it's really what you want to make it. So it's hard to give you exact numbers when you're like, we could probably get 2 BLS ambulances and a paramedic fly car, or we want 2 ALS ambulances. We can really make this work into the numbers that you want to have it work for.
I just want to make sure that we're giving the service,
Listen,
whatever, listen, we have to take the statistics, 3 years, 5 years out, see what the runs were, see what the calls were. And I know that's not a perfect science by any means, but I just want to make sure we have all that stuff baked in there. So this way, when it comes time to hit the switch, that we're not going, oh, we should have done this, or maybe we should have done this. I just want to make sure that we're doing this right, because it's a tax. And like I said, the folks that are behind you are the ones that are going to be looking at us to say, what's going on? We're going to be responsible for fixing this.
My thing is, I won't lie to any of you. I'll tell you exactly the truth. If I don't know the number, I'll find the number for you and figure it out. But my reputation is important too. If I ever want to, I got way beyond it by they asked for help and it worked. and I know the numbers from there. And if I ever want to do this again, I'm not going to lie to you guys because they're going to call you guys next.
I'm just,
And the agencies I have never missed a call. 15 years, New England Ambulance has never missed a call, and the taxpayer's paying $68 a year, and the taxpayer in Cornwall is paying $40-something per year, and they have 100% coverage. And we're doing that for less than $1 million for 4 ambulances during the day between the 2 towns, municipalities with the funding we're getting.
but I don't know the number for sure, but I don't believe our taxpayer is gonna be paying $30, $40 a year. So that's why I'm saying, they're gonna be paying for something that's gonna be, significant. to some-
In the beginning, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, but then we have to see, listen, we're gonna have to massage it after that, because we don't know, I know we say we can drop it, and we probably can. But, are we figuring in raises for the following year? What's that gonna cost? What fuel, wear and tear on the
Fuel's in the
ambulances?
budget for us. We had all that.
What do we do? What's the plan if we have this is real, the ambulance gets in an accident, hits a deer, out of commission. Now we're down to one.
I don't see us dropping the rate. If we're buying the equipment over time, which is probably the most reasonable thing to do, it's going to be constant for, say at least 3 years with some inflation each year. So I don't see what we charge the taxpayers going down.
I could see it going down, but I just don't know if it's right away. I mean, we have to build some history, at least then, and Larry's had experience with budgets as well as I do. We don't have any history here. So we need to build history to say, this is what this is going to be, or what it's not going to be.
What was the number for Wayanda off the top of your head for the first year
For tax or for the
total budget?
the total budget cost $800,000.
And are you projected to be in, over, or under that?
We are under payroll and we're over on our revenue projection of call volume, and mostly because of mutual aid that we're covering that we didn't really factor in, because I don't want to factor it in. You don't know always. But again, for example, today there was multiple calls in this area and surrounding communities that didn't get ambulances from the communities, and towns Wallkill kept having to come down here all day. We would cover those calls now.
And you're under payroll.
We're under payroll.
How is that?
So that 800,000, is that including all benefits and everything, all up and all in?
That's the payroll numbers that we worked with their town with the benefits and payroll that they were comfortable with.
All benefits.
That's what, yes. That was what we're spending for benefits currently. We projected for more money for payroll. But one BOS ambulance at 25 times 2, that's 48 times 8,760 that's your number for just the base. And then you factor in your.
Let's go back to the payroll number being under, right? So when you do a schedule or a budget, you're budgeting what you need for the service 24 hours a day, right?
Mhm.
So how can you be under in payroll? That would mean people had to be out sick. How did we replace them? I mean, if we replace them, then that number should be,
We projected in the beginning, we have a lot more overtime because we were.
so overtime's baked into that.
Yeah, so that number is baked in enemy of holiday.
And you didn't use the overtime, is what you're saying?
No, we didn't. And then there's also, we factor in there if you accrue PTO time.
Did you put overtime in our number?
Yes. You're at $77 an hour, I believe, or $77. If you take the two together with workers' comp, we added $17 to the 60. We projected about $60 an hour, and we added 17 to that to be high in case because we're gonna have to have one person as a supervisor and pay them probably $30 an hour as an EMT. So that person's gonna get paid a little extra to oversee the operation. And then we have to, once we get this done, we have to get the EMTs. We start with one truck and then we'll get to the second ambulance. And then we'll see if we need it 24 hours a day or if we don't need it 24 hours a day. Because Goshen ambulance runs 2 during the day, 3 during the day, and they have 1 at night because they know their volume.
Now, Dan, I have a question it's a question for Mike, but you could help me with the beginning of it. During the day, if you get a call and they call the police station and you guys can radio the cars out of there, or how does that still go to county, or is that just for overnight?
Most of our emergency calls go through the 911 center.
They do. Have you had any significant issues in lapse in time with that?
Not with emergency calls, no.
No, okay. All right.
Yeah, so the numbers, and more questions with it, I can try to help you with anything. And I'll meet with you guys anytime you need to kind of.
I don't know, Larry, would you like
I can
to
show you
try to meet just to kind of, instead of, we can,
The next time I can meet tomorrow or Friday.
how, in the evening? I can do the evening, I can't do the day.
I can't do tomorrow evening.
No, we can't do tomorrow evening.
No, we can't do tomorrow
we're
evening.
both-
Do you
Yeah.
guys want me to give Michael's email to you guys so you can schedule this?
Yeah.
The only thing that with the Striker 0% financing is it ends the end of this month. And that's the concern of having that done.
I believe, and I'm probably going to speak out of turn. I believe that we're going to move forward. I think we all just want to make sure. I mean, for my seat, I'm only one vote, but I want to make sure we have the right numbers, and then we go in. If we
Say
haven't,
the deal ends at the end of the month. My concern is we won't have a district by the end of the month.
So with the Striker purchase, I pre-negotiated with them. They won't give us the first bill until the last piece of equipment arrives. I said, we don't want the last piece of equipment until February for the next ambulance. So we wouldn't pay anything to Striker until next year.
I just have to figure out the order of operation.
It would be,
in terms of authorizing
it's,
that.
so our second ambulance wouldn't be ready to go in service probably until we get more staffing. So we would say some of the stuff can come next year and our invoice from that wouldn't come and our lease wouldn't start until next year. And that would be the last piece of equipment that arrives. We also found some ambulance leasing companies that will do a short-term lease with a year. So I found all different options that you guys can look at doing. They have also a year deferral for first payment on the ambulance, which we make 3 payments on the ambulances. Obviously, the interest rate's a little bit higher. They're between 5 and 7%. I know you don't want to spend, I don't like spending money on interest either, but that would help defer it until we get some revenue in. Your projection of revenue is about 400,000. Take 9% off of that. That would be what you'll be keeping. So that's the revenue we project.
And remember, the creative budgeting here is we would like to pursue that bond. So we might not need to wait until February to collect our first round of taxes in order to, set this whole thing up and start paying for financing.
I projected 390,000 for revenue, I believe, with you guys, and Empress projected and said their revenue was 387. I was off by $3,000 when they gave you that number. So that's with me just doing the math of statistically what your normals would be. So I was only off by $3,000. So I'm pretty close on these numbers. But again, the payroll numbers, again, those are things that your insurance rates are different than mine. Your health insurance is a lot better than ours as a nonprofit. So those things I don't have privy to put in the numbers for you, to be honest
Can
with
I
you.
ask a question? I'm a little confused when you speak about the ambulance. Are they purchased or leased?
So you can buy them. The problem is they're
Within the 0% finance scenario? What is
no.
that?
So the stretchers are 30,000. The load system to pick it up is 32,000. Heart monitors up towards 50,000. Those we can get on
I'm
zero.
asking about the vehicles themselves.
Yep, so
Are
they're
we referring to purchase or lease?
purchasing is 172,000 and change, I believe, each. You can lease them, and there's leasing options that they have a leasing
But the
company.
0% is on a purchase?
That's on the medical equipment. That's not on the vehicle itself.
That's not on the vehicles?
No, that's on but the hard equipment's very expensive to stock an ambulance. It's about 150,000 per vehicle on your stair chair, your stretcher, your heart monitor, your AED, your CPR machine. That's the best equipment.
So the 0% is only for the equipment, not the vehicle.
Correct. It's all the equipment, which again is about 150,000 per ambulance, is your equipment, and we can get that on 0% for 3 years, deferred payment till the first piece of equipment, the last piece of equipment arrives, which we can,
So then the vehicle, that's going to cost us an interest.
if you lease it, correct, or you banned it, yes.
We bought it, yeah.
You could do that. So 2 vehicles together, you could buy them together. The vehicles are on the lot. They're not going to hold them much longer, and then they go up in price. So we were lucky to find 2. I would just hope if we're going to move, I know once we're comfortable with the numbers, I can tell the guy we're holding them another week or so, 2 weeks, and if not, we can just let them go and we'll find other ones. They always have some coming in. But
So could you provide us with the configuration,
I have that. I just forgot to send it to you, so I can.
I have 3 different specs I got.
So I assume those vehicles don't have air suspension.
None of them do right now, and we've had a lot of problems with air suspension lately with our type. My father owns a big towing company. We have a lot of problems with air suspension at times, but they ride very well. They really do.
Speaking from personal experience, no, they don't.
Well, these new ours will ride. I mean, a lot of them don't get maintained well. These ambulances.
All I know is I had 2 occasions to ride in an ambulance this year, and it was not funny. It felt every bump.
The Ford F-Series chassis don't ride that well. The Type 1s don't ride that well.
Don't forget it, air suspension, it will.
Okay. I mean,
And let's put it this way, air suspension you have in trucks and been around for years and don't have problems.
we've had the issues we have with the air suspension is sometimes they have to drop the air suspension for the structure to come out, and they've had problems with the air
Yeah,
suspension
I
dropping.
understand.
and coming out. That's the issues they've had with Monroe, has had those issues. But again, you want to buy the ambulance with that, that's up to you guys. I'll get you a price on it. I mean, it's your ambulance, it's not mine. I'll give you a price on every.
I'd be curious as to what it costs, that
Yeah.
option, you know.
We will run through all the options.
Any option you want for an ambulance, I know all the dealers, I mean, and vendors,
Yeah.
you want that, you can buy
This
that
is-
as a day-to-day truck.
This
and
part
have
of
it-
this is a
Yeah.
conversation for later this week and next week.
But my job is
Give
to
us, send
give
us your
you.
email.
Yeah.
We'll-
But,
Wait,
but
are we
that-
all-
but having that discussion, that all that stuff affects the budget,
Yes, I understand, but
so.
we have a lot more things on the agenda right now,
Okay.
and those conversations are going to get into the nitty gritty. Are there any other general questions about the budget
No.
at this time?
I've said what I have to say.
Do you want to move on to, while we're in this discussion?
Yes.
Move on to the public hearing. for the
Yes.
EMS task
Yeah.
district.
We're going to move on to just the next couple, and then we'll go back to the top of the order. Is there a resolution? Is there a motion to set a public
I have
hearing?
an order.
Oh, go ahead.
Resolution in order for public hearing on the establishment of an ambulance district. Whereas the town board of the town of Chester, New York has adopted a resolution authorizing the preparation of a map planning report for establishing an ambulance district for the purpose of providing dedicated emergency medical services in the town of Chester. And said map planning report has been filed in the office of the town clerk of the town of Chester on September 9th, 2024. And whereas the boundaries of the proposed ambulance district shall be the boundaries of the town of Chester, including the village of Chester within the town of Chester. And whereas the maximum amount to be expended annually is $1,222,400, resulting in an average cost of $225.54. And that's on an assessed value of $159,817, average assessed value to the taxpayer. Now therefore be it resolved that a public hearing on said map plan and report shall be held on September 25th, 2024. I have 6:45 as or soon thereafter as may be heard in the town hall located at 1786 Kings Highway, Chester, New York, 10918. Be it further resolved that the town clerk shall cause public notice to be published in the official paper no less than 10 days before said public hearing. And be it further resolved that the map plan and report shall be available for viewing at the town hall from the hours of 8 to 5 p.m. and on the town's website, www.chesterny.gov.
With that being said, is there a motion to? I'm gonna motion to set the public hearing for the EMS tax district on September 25th.
I'll second.
Roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Holdridge.
Aye.
Councilmember Argisana.
Aye.
Councilmember Courtney.
Aye.
Councilmember Dysinger.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Thank you very much. And then we have another agenda item that is related to this whole discussion. So this would be to officially accept the consulting services from Michael Big, Hudson Valley EMS Consultants LLC. Obviously, he has already begun a lot of work on our behalf to set this whole thing up. There was a vote at the end of the informal vote, and there can only ever be an informal vote when it comes to both of our boards. But at the same time, there was a poll, like I said at the beginning of this meeting, 6-2 in favor of going with our own EMS services and consulting with Hudson Valley EMS Consultants, contracting with them. I did get a call from the mayor earlier today. He does want another work session to discuss everything, and then about the whole EMS situation. I just want to make that clear. He, wasn't totally convinced, that the decision should be final just yet. I am, after speaking to Mr. Biggs later on in the day, and seeing the emails fly back and forth, if we are to try to set this up as soon as possible, to start saving lives and cutting down on response times as soon as possible, I'd like to start consulting with Mr. Biggs to help us create our system here. I don't think that he's going to be amenable to meeting and doing more work without starting to get paid for his work.
So question here is,
Sure.
is he billing at like an hourly rate? Is that what he's doing?
No,
Or
it
is
is
it a set fee?
It is a monthly rate. It's for 5 months. It's $10,000 a month.
Okay, just
Just
trying to
like the
understand.
same- This
what
is
it
the
is.
same rate that you charge Wayway Honda, correct?
Yeah, they're now paying hourly for the ALS upgrade, but
For the first 5 months, you had a monthly fee, and then after that had ended, they had contracted with you for an hourly rate to help
Yeah,
to help them with the ALS.
after, even if we started tomorrow and I got everything up and running in 2 weeks from now, I'd still be here day to day helping you with your billing, your pre-billing, your scheduling, and everything for 5 months. So you have total access to me, and I have people that work with me that I pay to help me. So you would have access to me for that and whatever you need me to do.
Mhm. Are there any discussion points on this or debate points on this?
And we're paying the fee, right? So the village is not.
This will,
As of right now, yes, it's our,
Okay.
it's
this will
our,
come out of the general fund.
Yeah.
And if there were fees accrued after the district was formed, you could charge those fees back to as a district expense. You
we
could
have,
Put it on the district budget.
I did speak to the comptroller about this, although it pains him to say it. There is fund balance to be used for this if necessary.
Okay.
There is $16,000 left in ARPA funding. That's the very small sliver amount of ARPA funding that we have left that we can use for this. So for now, as a town, and because there's no EMS tax district, this is not affecting the village's decision to want to continue to talk about who we contract with. For our purposes right now, in order to get the process started,
Okay.
I recommend that we accept this contract. And if it comes, if all goes well, the village will continue to opt into the tax district, and then we can hopefully charge this back to the tax district later on.
Okay, I'm good.
Which
And I did prepare a resolution, Mr. Supervisor, if you wish me to do that now.
I just want to be clear. Are there any questions or debate points on this subject before we move forward?
No, understand.
Okay.
Whereas the town of Chester desires to implement a dedicated ambulance service for the town and village of Chester, and whereas the town board has received and reviewed a proposal by Hudson Valley EMS Consultants LLC to guide the town of Chester through the establishment of the town of Chester ambulance district. And whereas the town board finds that the proposed scope of services to be provided requires specialized skill and training not subject to general municipal law section 103. And now therefore be it resolved, the town board hereby accepts the proposal of Hudson Valley EMS Consultants LLC for the sum of $50,000, subject to the contract approved by the attorney for the town as to form. And whereas such expenditures shall not exceed $50,000 without further town board approval.
I'd like to motion to accept the Oh, go. Michelle, could you walk out? She's outside real quick. Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry, all I ask is that you also, in addition to the resolution you have in front of you, is that you appropriate for $40,000 from fund balance to be, so
Right.
that we can actually pay it, pay the bill
Yeah.
for the remainder of the year. And then obviously this will go into the next year and we can budget the remaining amount for the next year.
So I'll have that as a, be it further resolved.
Thank you, Michelle.
To be clear, be it further resolved that the town board hereby appropriates 40, you said 40,000 now?
Yes.
From fund balance to be used for such contract.
We can do the ARPA at a later date. We can, for the last 10K there. All right. I'd like to motion to accept the resolution as read.
I'll second.
Roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Holdridge.
Aye.
Councilmember Artisana.
Aye.
Councilmember Courtney.
Aye.
Councilmember Dysinger.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Thank you all. Thank you,
Linda,
Mr.
I'll email you the updated resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Biggs. You're free to go. So is our comptroller.
Yeah, we beat you up pretty good.
Until tomorrow. All right. In the interest of time, I'm going to be liberal about this tonight because it's report night and I see a lot of people in the audience and I know some are here for the fall festival stuff. So I'm just going to request, I'm going to motion to move agenda items 10 and 11 up to the top of the agenda.
I'll
All those
second.
in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, no,
Aye.
there's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, we're all good. All right, so everybody got the billboard emails, the three design options for the fall festival coming up. Are there any debate points or questions about accepting those to be put on our billboards?
No.
Seeing none, I motion to approve the request to start using those designs to advertise for the fall festival. Is there a second to my motion?
I'll second.
Roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Holdridge.
Aye.
Councilman Addisana.
Aye.
Councilmember Courtney.
Aye.
Councilmember Dysinger.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Please email Walt those designs, and then they should be good to go. All right, and then the second part of this, everybody got an email, I believe, earlier this week regarding the various requests for the that pertain to it. I already did secure the street cleaning for the day before. Thank you to the highway department. I appreciate that. And if I can just find this thing. Here we go. All right, so the Chamber of Commerce. So there was a hiccup here because this is the first year that we are going to be actually hosting the fall festival. It's been hosted technically by the County of Orange in the past because they own the road. The town clerk had brought up that we have a peddler's permit that would need to be applied to the event for all of the peddlers coming to sell their wares on the road. The county had previously waived that, correct? Yes. They had a form that I emailed everybody that they just filled out to kind of, for the formality of it. At this point, to ask for the chamber to apply this peddler's fee to the various entities that are coming would be a backbreaker for them. They did not plan for that. They did not budget for that. The county has historically waived the fee regardless. That's why they did do that. They are asking that we do the same that the county has done for this time around. Are there any questions or debate points on that?
I don't have an issue with it.
No.
All right. With that being said, I would like to motion to exempt the Sugarloaf Chamber of Commerce Fall Festival from the peddler's fee for the Fall Festival of 2024.
I'll make the motion.
I motioned.
I'll second.
You second. Roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Holdridge.
Aye.
Councilmember Addisana.
Aye.
Councilmember Courtney.
Aye.
Councilmember Dysinger.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. There's a request to close the road on October 12th and October 13th from 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. For the Fall Festival. They are requesting this road closure, and they are going to be providing the usual certificate of insurance with the subrogation language that's necessary in order to have the event on our property, just like any other entity would need to provide us. They are going to be sending us that. If they didn't already, I'm not sure if they did yet. But the road closure request is here with that caveat, obviously. So do I hear a motion to close the road on October 12th and 13th from 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m.?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second that one.
Roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Holdridge.
Aye.
Councilmember Addisana.
Aye.
Councilmember Courtney.
Aye.
Councilmember Dysinger.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. And then finally, didn't you guys request to use the PAC? Yes. So they are also requesting that they use the Performing Arts Center for parking, like we've always done in the past. I just figured that we should have a vote on that instead of just saying yes. With that being, are there any debate points or questions on that?
There's no conflict, nothing else going on?
Yes, we did check with Walt. There is no conflict.
Okay.
During those hours for those days. Now, we haven't looked into or decided on a new system to collect fees for said event. Yes. So in that case, we are going to ensure that there is no fee collection for the parking on our property for the event by the chamber or the town. No. Yes. Okay. So no fee collection for the parking on our town property. With that being said, is there a motion to allow public parking for the events for the Fall Festival?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Holdridge,
Aye.
Councilmember Ardisana,
Aye.
Councilmember Courtney,
Aye.
Councilmember Dysinger,
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Thank you. And I believe that closes us out for all the requests. In the future, we will have a much better system. There was a hiccup because this is all new, being town road now. We will be better prepared for spring and get, hopefully by then, a system for our fee collection for the Performing Arts Center parking. That's on me too. We've been busy.
You're an ambulance mode.
Yeah, I have been an ambulance mode. And then as well as the certificate of insurance, the chamber will do to get that to us sooner. And we will work out the peddlers situation as well in the future. But for now, we seem to be good to go. Right?
Yeah, I do have the COI. I can email that.
Great. To the town clerk, please. Yes. All right. Okay.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you. All right. Now I don't think there's anything that's totally pressing that a lot of people showed up for. So I think we can move back to the front of our agenda. Is there a motion to head into executive session for the reasons of personnel?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a
Well, before we do that, maybe some people want to.
yeah, I was just about to say the public
Yeah.
comment. All right. Do you rescind your motion?
I'll resend it.
Yes. Okay. Great. Thank you, Larry. Are there any public? Is there a motion to move agenda item 8 to the top of the agenda?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're now in public comment. Is there any? There was nobody that signed up because I think some people left.
Yeah, sorry, I wanted to sign up, but I was.
Yes.
getting-
I'm sorry. I collected this too early.
I was getting back from the.
Please step up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My name is Jane Dysinger at Odyssey Drive in Chester, New York, and I'm here on behalf of the Chester Conservation Advisory Council. We are looking to have a mini repair cafe on Saturday, November 2nd, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Chester Senior Center. We're announcing this early because we are looking for residents with repair skills to volunteer for this event. Community repair programs provide the opportunity for residents to bring household items to a local event to be repaired free of charge. And I'll say that again, free of charge, with skilled volunteers who are also their neighbors. These events are often known as repair cafes or fix-it clinics. Internationally, there are repair cafes in over 40 countries across 6 continents. The success of a repair cafe depends largely on the availability of local volunteer skilled talent. So our first step for Chester to have a repair cafe is to find repair people who are interested in working the event. The top items brought into our repair cafe are, believe it or not, lamps, sometimes ones with sentimental value, or sometimes passed down from one generation to the next. A close second is vacuum cleaners, and often the repair coaches simply need to show the person how to clean them in order to keep them running. Repair cafes see all kinds of items, coffee machines, toys, cuckoo clocks, pencil sharpeners, toasters, you name it, if it has come to a repair cafe someplace in the world. Also, family heirlooms are popular items that have been either damaged or broken in some way. Many of the items carry a deep sentimental value to the owner who brings it in, and they are happy when they're able to use it again. Feelings of gratitude are strong on both sides, both the person who is bringing the repaired item and also the volunteer who is making, the skilled volunteer who is making the repair. We are looking for volunteers from the community with hands-on knowledge in the following areas: lamp repair, woodworkers or carpenters who have a skill in gluing, for example, wood, pottery, chairs, etc., bicycle repair. We will also have knife and tool sharpeners just in time for Thanksgiving, knives and etc., but also gardening tools, etc., electrical repair, sewing, and jewelry. But we do welcome any other repair skill. A repair cafe is truly a community event. Among other things, the end goal of repair cafes is to curb waste by keeping fixable items out of the landfills and in circulation for as long as possible. But at the heart of it, repair cafes run on volunteer spirit, a shared love for do-it-yourself items, promoting sustainability, and also community support. If being a repair cafe sounds good to the folks that are listening over there, or if you know of anybody who is a repair do-it-yourselfer, you can contact the Conservation Advisory Council between now and September 24th. Linda was kind enough to put it on the town website. They can send either an email to chesteradvisory@gmail.com, or they can call me direct. There also is a flyer on the CAC website, I believe, yes. After September 24th, when we have the confirmed repair people, we will then advertise the event with the categories that we are going to be able to handle on November 2nd. One other note to the people that would be volunteering to do the repairs: they will not be working alone. We will have people who work or already work at repair cafes in each of the categories that we're able to obtain, and they will work with them on the day of the event. A repair cafe is truly neighbor helping neighbor. Thank you. Also, it is our hope that we will be able to get a repair cafe going in Chester in 2025. It all depends on the success of our event in November.
Can you repeat the date and time again?
Absolutely. It's Saturday. Well, we need the repair coaches to contact us.
The tentative date?
The tentative date for the event?
Yeah.
Okay. Saturday, November 2nd.
November 2nd.
At the senior center.
And what time?
Between 10 o'clock and 1 o'clock.
Thank you.
Okay. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you for putting it on.
Thanks.
Other public comment in the audience tonight? And I just want to apologize. I should have allowed public comment much earlier in the night. I'm very exhausted, so I apologize. I forgot about it. Hopefully it will be the last time. Any other public comment tonight?
Any online?
I was asking the audience. Anything online?
Nope.
None of those are public comment? No. What are those? What are those notifications on the right there? Oh. Nothing on public comment. Okay. All right. Seeing none, moving on. Back to the top of the agenda for the 14th time. Is there a motion to go in executive session?
Motion.
I'll second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are now on a motion. Yes. All right. Is there a motion to come out of executive session?
Motion?
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Was everybody able to review the minutes from 8:28 and 9:4?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Is there any questions or debate points on that?
No?
Is there a motion to approve the minutes from both of those meetings?
Motion?
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Reports. From Mudna, Tam has been working at 3A. I'm guessing that is one of the wells, or no, one of the pumps. Installed solenoid valve at 3A, fixed packing at Kings Tract, fixed pump station at Chestertown Hall, generator failed in Sugarloaf. Jamie and Paul pumped and dumped early one morning, installed a new breaker on generator at Sugarloaf. Lake Hill Farms was cleaned once, Creamery Pond was cleaned twice, Surrey Meadows was cleaned 4 times, and Tam was cleaned 3A. Generators at Lake Hill and 3A had service. 2 septic tanks were cleaned in the town of Chester. Floats are checked and cleaned every week, and pump stations are mowed. That is Mudna. Water. You can find all the details online. The water department processed and distributed 7.2 million gallons of water for the month of July. The district's daily average from 239 to 94,000 gallons. Breakdown you can find online. Multiple mowings, testings, classes were all held. Nothing too crazy in any of the water districts. All mostly quiet with routine operations. All those details in more depth can be found online. Highway. Roadside mowing continued throughout town. Sweeping of roads continues. Trimming around guardrails and signposts continued. Catch basins are being cleared out. Assist water department with water shut-off at after midnight on Maple Lane. Lori Lane, Doug Road, and Twin Brooks Road and Camp Monroe Road pipe projects are all completed. Blacktop patching continues. Tree down across Pine Hill and Old LaRue resolved. Mechanics continue to repair items in need, prepare for inspection, service police vehicles. That is highway. Animal control. 4 calls were for loose, lost, and found dogs. 1 call was for a dog welfare check. 1 call was for an injured deer. 1 call was for a bear sighting. 1 call was for a coyote sighting. 1 for a duck near a road. 1 for a snake in the basement. 1 for a deer stuck in fence. 1 for a cat in a tree. And 1 for a skunk stuck in a soccer net. Tongue twister.
Hmm.
Who got the skunk?
Yeah, I wonder who did that one.
They got it out. I don't know who it was.
Did they get sprayed?
No.
Good. Very good. Comptroller's report. The accounting department completed the annual financial report for the New York State Comptroller. 2022 audit is complete and audit report is issued. Thank you to the accounting department. Let me repeat, the 2022 audit is complete. Thank you
Hallelujah.
very much to the accounting department. That just goes to show how far behind we were from prior years. The accounting department is currently working on recreating the chart of accounts for the new budget in an effort to create more transparency related to the town's finances per my instructions. All departments have submitted their budget requests, met with the supervisor, and accounting department is now trying to get it all inputted within our accounting system with the new chart of accounts. Continue to find errors and make corrections, just in general with the finances. Now that the 2022 audit is complete, our focus will be to the 2023 audit. The accounting department continues to work with our telecom provider as we work towards implementing the new VoIP system, which should be in place within the next month or 2. I'm sure we're all very excited about that. Moving on. Historians report. It's very lengthy. I'm sorry, Cliff, but in the interest of time, I am going to skip it tonight. You can all find it online. It is in the minutes. Will be in the minutes. The Performing Arts Center Theater Camp went off without a hitch and attended by approximately 25 campers. Grateful Dead Festival was an incredible success with over 700 visitors attending and walking through Sugarloaf. I did get reports that they actually did walk through Sugarloaf, so I hope that the businesses down there did profit from that.
I stopped there myself, and there was a lot of traffic, and there was a lot of
Wonderful.
foot traffic through the hamlet.
Good. New LED lights in the pavilion. Had a movie night at August 30th showing the movie If. Free fall concert series starts this Thursday night at 7 p.m. inside the Performing Arts Center with New Jersey's best oldies group, The Cameos. Red Grammar returns to Sugarloaf Pavilion for a free kids concert Sunday at 1 p.m. Everyone is welcome. Annual Danny Mulvey Cornhole Tournament is set for the September 21st. Comedian Anthony Rodia has some tickets available for Sunday, September 22nd. The police department, there were 274 calls for service in the month of August. 15,563 miles were driven by officers during that month. There were 18 arrests, 13 charged with operating a vehicle with a suspended driver's license. Really, 13? That's incredible. One charged with felony assault in the first degree, one charged with endangering the welfare of a child and harassment, one charged with a violation of town code for noise pollution, and two arrested for outstanding bench warrants. There was a bunch of non-criminal activity that our officers helped with. You can find that information online. No house security checks and 1,031 business security checks were done in the month of August. And many more details can be found online. The town court submitted their first report.
Whoa.
I'm very happy. Thank you to the judges for working with us on this. I only asked for something very short and to the point. The court handled approximately 250 cases for the month of August 2024. That is from Janet and Sharon. Thank you to the town court. Parks Department, a very successful event on Monday, September 9th, senior picnic collaboration with Senator Skoufis, the town of Chester, and the town of Warwick. About 300 senior citizens were in attendance. The intent is to make this an annual event, and I want to thank Empress EMS, all of the donations from Stewart's and ShopRite, and who else, Michelle? Dunkin' Donuts, yes. Thank you to the police department for being there to help keep us all safe, but also scoop ice cream and serve food. I'm sorry? I said that. Yep, I said Empress. And everybody else that we worked with for the event. It was a really good one. Thank you to Supervisor Dwyer from the town of Warwick. And of course, thank you to Senator Skoufis, who funded the event in full. Thank you, Senator Skoufis, for that. Continued meetings and work on upcoming events with several committees for the Halloween and Christmas events. Looking for anyone interested in having a trunk or treat on October 26th from 11 to 1. Information online to follow. Soccer, fall ball, football seasons have begun. Keeping schedule for all. Processing permits as they come in for the pavilion use. Working on the lighting upgrade update at the Commons. I am in constant contact with Kristen about the LED lights upgrade and the box upgrade for the Commons. We are working as literally fast as possible. I promise the school and the kids. Working on complete and consistent signage for all parks. Assisted several recent events at the Performing Arts Center. The Danny Mulvey event I already went over. Fall free concert series at the already went over. Performed normal daily tasks, ordering supplies, etc. Thank you, Kristen. One important update: we are seeking coaches for the town recreation basketball program. A flyer will be going home late next week once approved by the school. Anyone interested in coaching, please contact Kristen Palmer at 469-7000 extension 102. This program is 100% volunteer dependent and cannot happen without coaches. Please sign up to be a coach if you know basketball. And I'm not sure if I'm missing anything on the. I believe I'm missing anything. Appears I did not receive a report from the buildings department. I'll make sure to follow up on that and circulate that. Yeah. Yes, we are in transition, so I'm not surprised. It's no big deal. We are working out kinks. We just got 2 new people down there. Town board reports. For me, the senior picnic was wonderful. Thank you again for everybody who worked on it. Attended the playgrounds meeting again earlier at the end of last month. Finished up budget requests meetings. So I'm working with the comptroller and our deputy comptroller to make the budget happen this year. I think everybody would be happy if the budget did happen this year.
Kind of has to happen.
Attended multiple constituent meetings. Attended a telecom meeting for our VoIP system. 5K. We're planning the Sugarloaf 5K with the community foundation down there. Multiple EMS. My life has been EMS for the last 2 weeks. It should be my life for the next year, I would say. So I'm sorry to everybody who I drive crazy about that in advance. And that is about it for me. Oh, and today, Help Bag Hunger Day at ShopRite. Thank you for the invite. ShopRite was a wonderful event as usual. I very much enjoyed bagging people's groceries.
Yeah, I heard you put the eggs at the bottom.
No, I did not. That is an absolute lie.
The report. It's the
That is
report I
libel.
got. The report I got.
No,
It's fake news, right?
that is actual fake news. Absolutely not. Heavy goes on the bottom. Eggs and bread go on top. All right. And the 9/11 ceremony was wonderful. Thank you to Kiwanis and everybody who put that on. Thank you to Councilman Dysinger and Deputy Supervisor Becker for their hard work in restoring those 2 towers there. It was wonderful work. It looked beautiful.
Thank you.
All right.
Our pleasure.
Yes, of course. Starting with Councilman Dysinger today.
Okay, building department. The new building inspector and assistant to the building inspector are getting settled in. Starting to train the assistant to building inspector, Melissa. She is helping out quite a bit in training her, and we'll be scheduling time for her to get trained on IPS. So I would say that, I'm not sure how long it's going to take. We're hoping just only a month or so, and before she's really up in full swing. Okay, as you've all seen, I put together a proposed budget for EMS, which I shared with everyone. Outdoor lighting replacement. Came to my attention that some lights, wall pack lights, were replaced at one of the water department locations. And basically you just replace, all they did was replace what was there. And the problem with that is that it didn't conform to our outdoor lighting ordinance. That's
Who
a
was
problem.
this?
Chris Cox, I don't blame him. He just didn't know, what the new standard is. So I reviewed with him. I gave him a copy of what's acceptable, replacement. So in the future, make sure you use lighting that's conforming with the outdoor lighting ordinance. And we should make sure that every department is aware of that, for all the buildings that the town
If
has
you want to
take
put
care of.
together a email, I can have it circulated throughout the.
Okay,
departments.
I can do that. I'm not blaming Chris. He just didn't know, but
Yeah.
I just want to let him know for the future. And I gave him some examples of, acceptable lights and that sort of thing. So he's good with that.
Very good.
Zoning changes. Comprehensive Plan Review Committee is, we should be finishing the zoning changes up tomorrow night. That's our anticipation. And once we do that, we're going to submit it to the town board so it can be reviewed by the town board, planning board, and the ZBA. We realize that we're going to do a whole package when we do the final approval, but this will give us a jump start on it to let people see it, ask questions, and if there's any changes we need to make, at least we can do that. I won't speak for Matt Woods, he's the chairman, but we're getting close to finishing up on the comprehensive plan. So according to our schedule, probably by early November, we'll be submitting that to, the town board.
Very good.
So, we're definitely making progress on that.
Is Kristen O'Donnell doing the seeker package, corresponding seeker package that would go with that?
I believe she is.
Okay, we can.
I think she
confirm.
mentioned that.
I will check that though.
She mentioned that in an email.
I'm pretty almost positive she is.
We have a
but
meeting
I'll verify.
tomorrow night, so
Okay.
we'll double
If
check.
we
Right.
can confirm that the
Yep,
package will
we'll do
include
so.
that would be great.
Yep. Okay. And lastly, I sat down with Dan and his administrative sergeant just to go over the 25 budget to educate myself, what goes into it, with details and stuff. So it was very informative to me, and I appreciate Dan for spending the time with me. So it was informative. Okay, that's it.
Very good. Councilman Courtney?
Last week I met with Marshall and Sterling. I've had a few meetings with some of the insurance companies to try to get us a better rate for next year. My last meeting, they're very hopeful that we're going to be positioned to be able to have a better rate. So fingers crossed on that. Wanted to recognize, Sunday there was a press release made by the chief. I'm glad to know that our Officer Dunlap and Lou were fine. And thank you to the other municipalities that assisted in that pursuit. Crazy things, you never know what's going to happen, but I'm glad everybody was okay.
Yeah.
And there's one other thing that I had, and I can't think of what it was. Must be the hour. That's all I have for now, Brandon. I can't think of the other thing.
Councilman Artisana?
Yeah, I'm good, except just to remind everybody about the 21st, besides the getting mobile event, it's also the general Oktoberfest at the firehouse.
Yes. Yes, that is on September 21st. Isn't there a third thing going on that day? No. That's just me.
I think it was just the two.
No. I have a wedding that day, so I have a third thing.
Congratulations.
Not for me. Not yet. All right. I believe that does it for reports, thankfully. Moving on. Summary bills. Please find the bills to be paid on September 12th attached. The town will be paying bills in the amount of $233,937.32. Right. Moving on. Resolution to reallocate $25,000 of ARPA funding from the Comprehensive Plan Review Committee and allocate 20,000 of that towards the police department plumbing repair project, and 5,000 of that allocated towards unallocated ARPA funds. We've all kind of discussed this beforehand. We're all on the same page here. Any debate point or question on this? No. Seeing none, is there a motion?
Motion.
There's a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Holdridge.
Aye.
Councilman Artisana.
Aye.
Councilman Courtney.
Aye.
Councilman Dysinger.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. I hope you guys are happy. All right, request to purchase Skag Turf Tiger 2, 38 HP at $14,375 for the Buildings and Grounds Department and Performing Arts Center. I know Councilman Dysinger had preferred a different one.
No, this is the one I recommend.
Oh, this is the one that you recommend?
Yes, it is. And then it's important to note that they're the only ones that gave money off. They reduced the price by, I think, $2,000. So this is a very good lawnmower, very durable.
Okay. Now, had they agreed at the end? Because I know there was back and forth here. Were they in agreement with your?
I didn't see anything back. I mean, I just feel of the four, I think it was four different mowers, I felt that this is the best choice.
Yes.
I know
they
from
did
personal
agree.
experience, they're very reliable, very durable, very well built. The only thing I would ask is that hopefully from getting this new, there is a maintenance plan that would be followed, make sure this is adequately maintained, so we don't have a repeat of the past.
I'm sorry?
I just want to make sure there's a maintenance program implemented for this mower to make sure, it's,
Yeah.
replacing blades, changing oils, checking fluids and everything else on a regular basis, so it will last us a long time.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure who's going to do that, but we need to make sure something gets put into place.
Did they get multiple quotes?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you not? Were you not on that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, there were four.
Yeah, I'll send that to you right
Thank you.
You want me to make a motion?
now. Hold on. I just want to make sure I'm not pissing anybody off right now. Hold on. Skag Turf Tiger available. Let's get it. Thanks, Pat. Okay. So Pat is happy with it. I just want to make sure everybody is good with it.
Yep.
So we are good. All right. Is there a motion to approve the purchase for the Skag Turf Tiger 2 for $14,375 for the Buildings and Grounds Department and the Performing Arts Center? This is being split between both of their budgets. So
Motion.
they're going in on it.
Yeah,
There's a
motion.
motion. Is there a second? There is a second. Roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Holdridge.
Aye.
Councilmember Artisana.
Aye.
Councilmember Courtney.
Aye.
Councilmember Dyson.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Very good. Resolution to create and advertise for the Town of Chester Parks Advisory Board. This resident-led board will have an advisory role to the planning board. To the planning and decision-making for the town's parks, playgrounds, and anything else related. I do have a resolution that I sent out. I'll read it real quick. Whereas the town owns multiple outdoor parks, and whereas the town board of Chester is interested in seeking advisory opinions on matters related to parks, playgrounds, outdoor activities from members of the community that are experienced/interested in those items, and whereas the town board of Chester seeks a board of 5 to 7 members in order to have a diverse but cohesive membership, whereas the town of Chester Parks Advisory Board will meet at least once a month to discuss Chester's parks and plan for the future. Whereas the town of Chester Parks Advisory Board will have access to the parks, park facilities, and any related documents if necessary, and will work closely with all park-related town employees to improve its overall quality. And whereas the town board of Chester will have full appointing authority for all members of the town of Chester Parks Advisory Board, now therefore be resolved, the town board of the town of Chester creates the town of Chester Parks Advisory Board and will post for letters of interest from the public immediately. This is the same language and is set up for the Conservation Advisory Council, for the Performing Arts Center Advisory Council.
think-
Conservation is different. Conservation is statutory.
I'm just saying it's an advisory
Yeah.
board.
I
That's
think-
what I mean by that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think this is a good thing to have.
Yes. It's
So
not.
we can really set some direction for our parks.
Yeah.
And I noticed that someone already volunteered to be on that
Yes.
committee.
Yes.
So,
There is, yes, I've been meeting with a informal playgrounds committee that I would like to evolve into a parks advisory board. I'm sure all those people on there will be submitting letters of interest, and we'll have this kind of set up the same as our Performing Arts Center advisory board. And this, again, I just want to make this clear. I know there was a Parks Commission in the past that actually had budgetary implications in terms of how we spend our money. This is not that. This is just
Right.
an advisory role, just like the Performing Arts Center. With that being said, are there any questions or debate points on this?
No, sir.
No.
No. All right. I'd like to motion to create and advertise for the Town of Chester Parks Advisory Board.
Second,
Roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Holdridge.
Aye.
Councilmember Artisana.
Aye.
Councilmember Courtney.
Aye.
Councilmember Dysinger.
aye.
Passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Resolution to authorize Supervisor Holdridge to sign Mary Langdon against Town of Chester Library Board substitution of counsel. This is, as written on the agenda, a legal formality.
Okay.
This has nothing to do with the town. It's just,
Just to be clear, the defense, the firm, on behalf of the town is changing its ownership structure.
Yes.
And the person we've been working with is going to a different firm. This is consenting to the transfer of the file. This is through Insurance Defense Counsel, so this is very much a formality.
any questions or debate points on that?
No,
Seeing none, is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
second,
Roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Holdridge.
Aye.
Councilmember Artisana.
Aye.
Councilmember Courtney.
Aye.
Councilmember Dysinger.
aye.
Passes unanimously. Thank you.
So,
You'll send this out. Thank you very much. Highway Department request to auction auction surplus equipment, a giant vac leaf vacuum, 3-point hitch brush hog, and 3-point hitch back blade.
I'll make the motion.
Everybody got the email on this? Are there any debate points or questions on this?
No,
Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Holdridge.
Aye.
Councilmember Artisana.
Aye.
Councilmember Courtney.
Aye.
Councilmember Dysinger.
aye.
Passes unanimously. Thank you. Resolution to allocate $1,500 of parkland funds to acquire new fencing for Chester Commons Park. This is to at the Chester Commons Park. It is basically a portion of the fences in disrepair.
Is this the orange construction fence that, provides a barrier for the equipment that's there? Is that what? the
No,
fence
this is the literal fence between the bleachers and the field.
The chain link.
Okay.
Yeah, the chain link
It's a
fence.
chain link fence.
It's a hazard. The Buildings and Grounds Department and the Parks Department are heavily in favor of this.
Okay, I'm just trying to clarify
Yeah.
what fence
It
it
was
was.
all bent up and everything else, Larry, when I was over there.
We just want to make sure we don't keep ourselves in a liability here. We want to get a nice fence there that no one can get injured on. All right. Is there a motion?
A motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second one.
Roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Holdridge.
Aye.
Councilmember Artisana.
Aye.
Councilmember Courtney.
Aye.
Councilmember Dysinger.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. All right. Resolution to allocate $1375.50 of parkland funds to improve the pickleball courts. This is not just for pickleball. This is also for tennis benefit. This would pay for a divider that is mobile that we can take down when necessary. That splits the tennis and pickleball courts, so there is less contact between them with the balls flying all over the place. And this will also pay for wind guards that will benefit both tennis and pickleball around 3 sides of the fence there that a lot of people have contacted my office about. And then obviously there were residents here that didn't want to stay the whole night, but they were here to thank us for having this on the agenda and are heavily in support of it. Apparently, this is a very popular item amongst the many people that use the courts out there. Are there any debate points or questions on this?
No,
I think for such a small amount of money, this is, easy get for
Well,
us.
it kind of goes back to, we spent some money over there and history, well, we don't want history to repeat itself, spend money and then don't do anything with it for 20 years.
Mhm.
So we have to continue that forward.
I just want to make it clear, unless absolutely necessary, this is probably going to be like one of the last investments for those courts for a long time, because we spent a lot of money on this
Yes, we have.
over the last 2 years. And I
Far
know-
more than it was originally projected.
Yes. We want to make sure that we're spreading the love with our parkland funds. So a large chunk of parkland funds are going to go towards those lighting upgrades that are imminent. I'm just waiting on basically the number and the specs for it. We have around $80,000 in parkland funds sitting in the account right now. This is a penance, a penance for the total, obviously. It's the LED lights are going to be somewhere between 40 and 60, which we've all talked about and we're all agreed on needs to happen, obviously. So just so the community understands, the vast majority of our parkland funds are going to be going towards the Chester Commons Park this year to benefit, obviously, the town as a whole, but of course, our student programs that run there. With that being said, any other debate points or questions on this?
No.
All right. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second the motion. Roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Holdridge.
Aye.
Councilmember Artisana.
Aye.
Councilmember Courtney.
Aye.
Councilmember Dysinger.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Thank you. There is a PD training request. Administrative Sergeant Vitale and I would like to attend the police leadership training in Middletown presented by Dr. Jim DeLong. The course will be held at Orange County Community College from October 1st through the 4th. The registration fee for the course is $400 each. An outline of the topics is covered below. I don't know if everybody got that, but I'll send it to everybody now. Are there any questions or debate points on this?
No.
It's a total of $800.
Yeah, no.
For two people.
Yes. Any debate points or questions on this?
No.
All right. With that being said, is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Holdridge.
Aye.
Councilmember Artisana.
Aye.
Councilmember Courtney.
Aye.
Councilmember Dysinger.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Resolution to set public hearing on October 9th for special districts assessment rolls adoption. I believe this is also formality. Could someone else explain what this is specifically? Because I still very.
Well, it's required that we give notification to all members of our special districts to allow them to review the assessment roll that has already been set by the assessor.
Mhm.
And upon the close of this public hearing, the board will be asked to adopt said rolls. So that is a requirement.
Something we do yearly.
And we do
Yes,
it every year.
this is an annual
and
thing.
it's pursuant to section 202A of town law, which I think we've all had a little bit of reference to that today. 'Cause it had somewhat to do with EMS.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Special taxing district.
Mhm.
So next year, if we wind up establishing the ambulance district, that will also be added to this list.
Got it. I have it here. Everybody received a copy of this, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. It's just a formality we do every year. All right. Is there a?
I'll make the motion.
There is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There is a second. Roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Holdridge.
Aye.
Councilmember Artisana.
Aye.
Councilmember Courtney.
Aye.
Councilmember Dysinger.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Is there any new business?
I have the one thing, and I remembered. the
Go
thing
ahead.
that I forgot. I gave Linda a copy of the 2025, moved the budget to make copies for the rest of, so you all take a look at. It was
Okay.
adopted last night.
Yes. Was that emailed out? I feel like that
No,
was emailed.
no, it wasn't.
No,
I
not
gave
yet.
her, I gave her the copy that I was handed, so I just had to make copies for all of you. So
All right.
you had them.
Any other new business?
No, sir.
Is there any other public comment, Michelle? With that being said, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.